people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go, we know some, you some, all the big people, you some, I some, you some, all the roadside hustlers, you some, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C divide us, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C confuse us. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go, we know some, you some, all the big people, you some, I some. All the roadside hustlers, some Tiffy, young cozy, the big C divide us, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C confuse us. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go, we know some, you some, all the big people, you some, I some, you some, all the roadside hustlers, some, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C divide us, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C confuse us. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go, we know some, you some, all the big people, you some, I some. All the roadside hustlers, some Tiffy, young cozy, the big C divide us, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C confuse us. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep on crying. The people just keep on crying. It's not fair. And we go, we know some, you some, all the big people, you some, I some, you some, all the roadside hustlers, some Tiffy, young cozy, the big C divide us, Tiffy, young cozy, the big C confuse us. It's all in the game. It's all in the game. Here, there, and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere. The people keep.
All right. Okay. Welcome to the class we loaded. Stephen Joseph,
Yes, sir.
it's up to you.
Well, today is Friday. It's the weekend. I'm happy to be here to host again today. Let me say welcome to everybody who's listening to us via radio, who's following us via social media. We come to you three days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. This is the class we know that we are carried live Bushwa Radio 98.1 in Monserrado, Shatta FM 102.5 in Monserrado, Radio Tupac 89.1 in Grand Bassa County, Voice of Lofa 99.3 all the way out there in Vonjiman City. We have Radio Joy Africa 97.5 in Margibi County, Voice of Gompa 106.5 in Gompa City, Nima County, and of course, Puto Radio 102.3 all the way there in Sino County. Let me say a big welcome to our panelists. Welcome, gentlemen, and it's good to have you on this beautiful Friday evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in today's edition, we will be looking at two key issues, and then we will move to what we call Have Your Say, which will be the third segment of the program. In that segment, we will open the phone lines, allow our callers to call in and have their say on any issue that they feel is of importance to them. They will talk, they will express themselves, they will speak their mind, they will speak to their government, and they will speak to the Liberian people. But today we will start off with, as usual, what's trending, and this will be our first segment, but then we'll focus more on the Unity Party's convention. The UP went to convention in Banga over the last 3 days. They've come back to Monrovia with a new code of officers to steer the affairs of their party for the next 6 years. We follow closely the events in Banga, and we will also be reading some of the concession speeches. We thought that there was a clear sign of magnanimity and political maturity on the part of those who contested. So let me start off with Senator Dillon. You've been a party executive yourself, a vice chair for the Liberty Party. I know elections like these, especially party convention, can be tense, and the aftermath of getting feedback from somebody.
Yeah, somebody need a mute. Pia, let's see you. Daniel, mute. Let's see.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
Pia, mute. Pia, you want to mute?
Yeah, I think it was from Pia.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you've been involved with political party yourself. When people come from these conventions, there are likelihood that there can be tension in terms of win or lose. Or what do you make of the UP convention and all of the different concession speeches we've been reading across social media?
Thank you. So firstly, let's welcome our viewers on the social media, and as we've done already, welcome our listeners on the various radio stations in Monrovia and across the country. Well, UP had a convention. I thought it was democratic. UP has shown yet again the good tenets of democracy, maturity, and a responsible leadership. It is what democracy is about. We go to election, you either win or you lose. Daniel Sanders, you got to mute.
Daniel,
you want to mute if you're talking in the background. We're already on air. So all I can say is Unity Party has demonstrated maturity and a good show of being responsible. We want to congratulate the winners, the new leadership. It is our hope that the new leadership taking over will take over from the Modad administration leadership and take Unity Party to new heights. We want to also commend, appreciate, and congratulate the Amin Modad leadership, along with Mo Ali, outgoing chairman, outgoing secretary general, for the stewardship over the party over the last year and plus months. Unity Party is here to stay. I want to believe so. Unity Party been around since 1985. It's not a baby. Unity Party is institutionally grounded. Maturity was exhibited. The tenets of democracy. We went to election at Liberty Party. Sometimes you bring in new leadership. It tends to to become turbulent like ours at Liberty Party. We don't wish the same for Unity Party. I will have, I will take no conspiracy theory against the new leadership.
Exactly.
Amos Twe, as incoming Secretary General, has been and demonstrated to be an institutional loyalist and a very serious fighter for Unity Party.
Mhm.
Reverend Tape, I don't know very much, but I believe the partisans of Unity Party know who they elected, and I'm sure the new chairman knows where the country is and where we intend to take our country, and so we are prepared to cooperate with them as we go along.
Thank you, Senator. Let me come to you, Pierre. Let me read an excerpt from
I prefer you go to Daniel Sano for now because something is happening in the background. My mother is fixing her food, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so no
use
problem.
that
Let me go
time.
to Daniel. Daniel, let me read an excerpt from the speech from Amin Moda. It reads, he says, I congratulate Reverend Luther Tape on winning the chairmanship of the United Party and all of those ascending to leadership. I thank the partisans, especially those who supported us, who braved all of the challenges to participate in the convention to fulfill their democratic rights and obligation. He goes forward to say he congratulated everybody who supported, and also his family and all of those who sacrificed in the pursuit of his political path. You yourself, as a political person following party politics for quite some time, what do you make of his statement?
So before Daniel comes on, I'd like to announce.
Well, I think it's
before Daniel comes on, Daniel, before you come on, sorry, let's announce that we are also on YouTube Live.
Okay, good. Yeah, we're on YouTube.
The class reloaded. If you search on YouTube, the class reloaded, you will see us there live. So
Okay,
we have
thank
channel follow.
Thank you, Daniel. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think it's an explicit show of political maturity because our democratic process here back home in Liberia is noted for being acrimonious whenever political parties go to convention. You record how folks from the ruling party will frequently chase each other with colaxes in pursuit of their individual political ambition. I'm for the Liberty Party. Yes, we had a convention in January of 2021 that was, very, very much peaceful. And what we witnessed in Banga for the last 2 days from the folks from the Unity Party, I think is an explicit show of political maturity. Given the fact that delegates from across the 15 political subdivision had assembled in Banga, and throughout the political processes, the campaigning, there was no incident of brutalization of anybody. They had a very, very fruitful and insightful debate that lasted for hours. And they were discussing the issues, and as political actors on this political landscape, that's why we should welcome that political activity should be about the competition of ideas. I think Mr. Amos Twe, who won the Secretary General position, is a very good friend of mine. I believe in his tenacity, his commitment to the Unity Party. I think in the minds of the voters, they push a better platform, a better idea. And yes, they voted for their team. So I think it's a good thing that they came out of Banga with flying colors. And when I listen to the concession speeches from Mr. Mo Ali and the outgoing chairman, Mr. Amin Moda, I think it's a step in the right direction for the party. I also listen to following one of the local radio stations right now, and I listen to the induction speech of the new chairman, the Reverend Dr. Luther Tape. I think he was much more focused on reconciling his party, asking every member of the Unity Party to put their hands. He wants everybody hands on deck. He wants to hit the ground running. He called on everybody to put aside the political differences. The campaign are over. Come on board to work. But one thing he said in conclusion was that their single most objective is to ensure that Mr. Joseph Yuma Boakai is sent to the presidency of Liberia in 2024. And I couldn't help but just to say that, look, it is a good way to start. This is not a time to outcast people, because I mean, politics is, I mean, one way you can bring everybody together is another style of leadership to bring everybody together. And I really want to appreciate the folks from the United Party. I think they've done extremely well. They show, I mean, political leadership, and other parties emerging on this political landscape need to emulate a very good example of the United Party. I think they are a very huge party. From the delegates, the number of delegates, 300 delegates, to have gone to compete for various positions, I think is a step in the right direction. And we just want to appreciate the outgoing leadership for everything they've done for the party. And the new leadership, I mean, the Liberty Party has issued a statement. I mean, 30 minutes ago, we issued a statement commending the new leadership and His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Yuma Braga on his election as a standard bearer of the Unity Party.
Thank you, Daniel. And Pia, let me come to you. Let me just say this. I remember in time past, the CDC had gone to several conventions. I remember the Joshua Saki convention, and then in chaos, the one with Geraldine Doe, the late, and then in chaos, there was another convention with former chairman Horatio Gu, and then in chaos, people were chased from
Horatio
Gu. People were chased from bombing with machetes and cutlasses, and that violent eruption gave rise to the ANC. It was after the bombing convention that we saw the emergence of the ANC, because most of those guys who were chased out of bombing from the CDC, you watched the UP go to convention 3 days. They were all, having fun. I saw places where they were dancing. People were. It was more of trying to find a leadership that would steady affairs for the party for the next 6 years, rather than just trying to fight for position. So, what do you make of the whole ambience in terms of what you saw during the convention?
Well, firstly, unlike the two previous speakers, Senator Dillon and Daniel, I am a member of the Unity Party. So I'm happy. This is one day to be happy when you see the institution that you belong to, do something that is good, it's commendable. Then you got to be happy. Because look, Stevie, sometimes you wonder what the interest of some of the actors in the country, what their interest is. You remember from the very beginning of the convention, a few youths are concerned because their choice of candidate was said to have been disqualified. I think due to age or so, and there was a little bit of running around. And the way some of the media institutions ran with that small event, the way it became a Bo Banner headline for some big papers, will make you to sit by and say, but what people want in this country? Because the fact that I'm not a part of a particular arrangement does not mean that I should be happy or looking forward to seeing the wrong things happening there or everything being chaotic, because what is happening in a subset of any of the component of the bigger society has an effect on the entire society. So the fact that they were able to overcome that and conduct a very, peaceful process is something that I'm happy about. I also come from a background where I know all of the actors who were involved, and I'm talking about those who wanted offices. I know Mo, I know Evans, I know Luther. Up to some level, I know Amin because he's been our chairman. But the way I know Luther, the way I know Amin, the way I know Toe, the way I know Mo, the way I know Cornelia and all of the people, I don't know Chairman Moda like that. So, but I believe that the individuals who were elected are up to the task. They can be a good representation of the kind of leadership that the Unity Party looks forward to. The election itself, the whole process was hugely overshadowed also by conspiracy theories. And it's good to talk to some of them because, like you heard, maybe more Amin Moda, Mo Ali, they were in bed with the administration. I can't speak collectively for everybody, but I think to a greater level, I can speak for Mo Ali. Except somebody convinces me otherwise, I don't want to believe, and I don't believe that Ali in any way was in bed with the administration.
Never.
So if it was a part of the strategy of the other people who also wanted the position, then that's just why it is. But I don't believe anyone should pay attention to the fact that Ali is in bed with the administration. I also heard on the other side of the conspiracy that the new team that won, they are Ellen Johnson Sirleaf people. You know, every time I hear that, I tend to be reminded because as someone who was press secretary to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf during the tough days of the Unity Party when everything didn't seem to be going the way it's supposed to go, that kind of divide was there, and they were dividing the party to the extent I use somebody like me who honestly and sincerely believed that JMB should have been president and risk everything I had to risk to openly be involved with the JMB effort. But I was still being looked at by some people as an Ellen guy, and I see the same thing unfolding, engulfed with conspiracy. Some say Luther Tappe was brought in from that perspective. But look, maybe we're quick to forget, Stephen, I got to remind people. Amos Tuer was deputy minister at the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You know why he lost his job?
Yeah.
During the election that brought President Weah to the Senate, the former president's son, Robert Sirleaf, was a candidate, right?
Yeah.
And as the United Party did not embrace it, there were two people who stood up with very strong statements. Was Wilbur Pay, the former chairman, and Amos Tuer at the time as head of the Youth Congress.
You're youth chairman.
Yeah, and that's how he lost his job. So how can you even imagine that somebody will be saying there's a guy who is an Ellen guy and he comes with an Ellen agenda? Doesn't make sense.
No.
I was in RBB. I graduated from RBB with a master in international relations. Luther Tappe was my classmate. That's where I got to know Luther from. We sat in class together and we graduated together. All right? And when Ambassador Bouaka was trying to be president in 2017, maybe people didn't pay attention. Most of his humanitarian activities, giving donations and contributions here, there, they were being spearheaded by Reverend Luther Tappe. He was not a party official, so you may not have seen him visible from the party perspective, but in some private capacity, he was a guy just right in the corner of JMB and helping, not just giving those donations, he was helping to raise resources that were enabling him to make these donations on behalf of JMB. So
thank you.
In a way, he's a JMB guy. So for some conspiracists to be coming now and saying these are Ellen people, they coming with Ellen agenda, it's good that the delegates at the conference did not listen to all of these kinds of things. They look at the candidates, they decided what was good for the party, and I think the pieces of advice that came from people like Senator Nyobli Kanga Lawrence, guiding people as to how to proceed with that convention, drawing from the experiences of the Liberty Party's own convention also helped. But like Senator Dillon said, unlike most of the parties that were giving birth to prior to the 2005 elections, the Unity Party has been around for a long, long time. If you remember the Grand Coalition during the Doe administration that decided to take on Doe, which was the Unity Party, the Liberian Action Party, the Liberian Unification Party, the Unity Party was there at that time. So it's a party with a long history. So happy, but I'm not surprised that a party with that long history and a party that also had a chance to govern the country will be capable of conducting themselves in the way they did. And I want to congratulate them, congratulate all of the winners and losers. We all won. I was overjoyed when I started reading some of the statements coming from the different actors, especially those who did not make it. It shows that this party is strong, and like the senator said, it shows that the Unity Party is here to stay.
Thank you. Senator, let me come to you quickly. Let me read an excerpt from what Mo Ali wrote. It says here, congratulations to Partisan Amos Tuer for his election as National Secretary General of our great Unity Party. Like I said during the debate, our commitment remains with the institution and our goal remains 2023. We will not waver in our quest to ensure that a more formidable UP wins in 2023. We trust the ability of the new leadership, and we trust that they will do all they can for our victory. How powerful is that?
Very powerful. In fact, to even be discussing conspiracy theory here, we're feeding into exactly what the people want. Some people went to Kanta, to Banga, to look for anybody who was not smiling, to say
Yeah.
United Party convention didn't go well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, you go to a place and you're not looking for the positive news, the maturity. At a party convention, other parties whole convention, the people spill blood.
Yeah.
The people spill blood. And they do a lot of stuff, undemocratic stuff, even commit criminal acts. But some people went to Banga, they set their camera and they had it ready to go live only for anything that they would see negative. So that even if somebody was chanting and they thought the chant was sounding negative, they went live with it. So you can understand that look, Mo Ali and United Party as an institution has demonstrated maturity. They have elevated the discourse and the democratic space yet again. I see people say Joseph Boaga went unopposed. For God in heaven's sake, you show me one political party here that they have stiff competition for standard bearers. CDC has always been about George Weah. They said they were funded to make George Weah president. Throughout the period when Councillor Bronsky was alive, peace be to his ashes, it was all about Councillor Bronsky and Liberty Party standard bearership. Same with any other party you see. But when people, ANC went to convention, there was nobody competing against communists. Because nobody is competing, does not mean it is not democratic. It means everybody agrees to take your web ballot.
Exactly.
So Mo Ali, the statement from Mo Ali that the results of the elections, they embrace it, and they will stand around and they will be around to work with their party to ensure that the party wins, along with their partners for 2023. I mean, it's a show of strength, it's a show of maturity, it's a show of being an institutional person. Mo Ali and Amin Moda have demonstrated the core Bangalore tendency for institutional discipline. You know, Ko Bangalore has always said that he wanted to contest in Lofa County, and every time he did not get the ticket, he stood by his party and he supported the party candidate in Lofa. I think it's the third time running. Other people will be making all kinds of statements today. People were sitting hoping that Mo Ali or Amin Modad will be making all the
Yes, they thought there would be some serious value coming from Banga.
Yeah, so but I think they got a slap in the face so that they got to find something else to talk. Kudos to United Party. Yeah. Thank you to the Amin Moda administration, outgoing administration, and welcome, congratulations, and welcome to the TAPE leadership.
Stephen, just a point before you move forward. Yeah, Senator, you made a good point, but you know we like my late brother Mamadi Diakete used to say, we need to bring sense to the discourse.
Right.
When people pass around with these conspiracy messages, they're trying to feed the public with the wrong information.
Yeah.
And if those wrong information concerns people whose character we know, we can't say we leave it because we don't want to play into what they do. We got to stand up for those people because we know them. So the things I said here, they are things that I want people to hold me back because I know them. I'm saying them because I know these individuals and I can vouch for who they are. So even though the concept of a conspiracy, blah, blah, did not work, we have an obligation to ensure that whatever trash or garbage was put out there about the character and the activities of these individuals, that we provide what is the proper one that will bring sense to the discourse. And that's one of the reasons why you have this platform, so that when other people spread misinformation about people and say the wrong thing, and we know the facts, we bring out the facts. I can vouch any day for Mo Ali, and like I said, I know Reverend Tappe, he was my schoolmate, he was my classmate, we graduated together. I can say he's not somebody who is what some people will be imagining he is. I mean, nobody is supposed to be saying I'm an anti-alien person, brother, but the way they said it is to say oh, this is somebody who's coming now to take over the party to pursue, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's agenda. And when we know these facts, we have to put it out so that our people, the partisans themselves, who may not know more about these people because maybe they've not seen them around for long, can say, okay, a guy like Pierre who's been around for long, who is a stalwart of the party, he knows this guy and this is what he said. That eases their own anxiety, it will ease their own fear, and then it makes the party better.
And any political institution that looks so alright, that NOSU, any political institution that comes across that looks so alright, everybody moving in line, in queue, everything low united, and everybody agreeing that NOSU core on the top, very hot at the bottom. That's trouble. United Party, right. So United Party demonstrated leadership.
But I just wanted to add up to what Jeremy said. I think the United Party has learned from a mistake in the past because come to think about it, the party have been victimized very greatly by these rumor mongering surrounding this conspiracy theory, because somebody who goes to a convention to contest and the only agenda somebody has is, oh, that person there, that Ellen person.
Yeah.
There are people who don't want to see the United Party move forward on Joseph Yima Boakai, and they think by labeling other people. As far as the party is concerned, they have smoked the peace pipe. They have buried the Hajj of former President Sirleaf. There's no divide between the current Senate bearer and the former Senate bearer of the party. Ambassador Boakai has repeatedly reiterated that he and President Sirleaf have very, very cordial relationship. But these people who don't have anything to offer, who don't have any substantive, logical debate to bring to confront people who support Ambassador Boakai, will frequently contrive these conspiracy theories. And I'm very much happy that the delegates saw through it. They thought their way out and said, look, we're not going to buy into the conspiracy theory to say, oh, this person is this person. Somebody talking about Mo Ali, the car he riding currently was purchased by Nathaniel McGill. Can you imagine that? So Mo came from OKFM one morning, and I called him and said, oh, Mr. SG, they were on the radio. He said, oh, Daniel, I like the car you got. I said, yeah, I got it by 7.5. He said, please take me there. We went there, he saw the car, and I know how he got the car. So when somebody confronted me back out to say, the car Mo riding, that Nathaniel McGill bought it for him, I said, are you killing me? but that's how terrible it can be. People, we become victim of conspiracy theory if we're not intelligent and smart enough to see through it. But I'm very happy that the delegate didn't buy into some of the political chicanery that are being sold. On the perimeters of the convention.
But let me say that. Thank you. Let me say something. Yeah.
Still 1 minute. It just tells you the extent to which the country has changed, right? And it's terrible. It's dangerous for the country. In the past, when I was actively in the Unity Party, I would go to where Dillon then would be seated. I remember before Eugene joined the Unity Party, he and Dillon used to be somewhere in the Cinco area there. I would drive that sit and with them, we'll drink our beer, we'll do something together. If any of them was stronger than me financially for that day, and I wanted something for them, they would give it to me. That's friendship. What does that do? So if I went to sit down somewhere where Dillon was sitting, he got money and that part of the thing, he's my friend, he gave me $200, Dillon finish buying me. That's nothing offensive because we all come from some backgrounds. All the people who were at the university, some of the guys in the current government may be misbehaving, right? But people still have personal relationship beyond politics. So I would say there, for example, maybe Fonati Kofa is not a civilian, but he has been a very good friend to me for a long time, even when he was working at the executive mansion on Ellen. So Fonati called me and say, oh, JP, I met you in the state. I know that easy. I was saying something I want that. I tell Fonati, I want it. Or when he sent it to me, then it goes now to say, Fonati, if you buy me, I'm a civilian. Is that how we want to run the country? It's dangerous. The people who on the other side got different views. They think differently, right? But they're not our enemies. We still got friends. There are some there who don't see us as friends, fair enough. But there are people there who see people on the other side like friends and they want to maintain those friendships. And even if you were to be able to get some kind of information that one of them who is a good friend of Stephen Johnson gets Stephen Johnson $200, you can't run around with it to say, Stephen Johnson, put me buying Stephen Johnson because you got $200 from that person. The politics, when you reach this level, then we got to be concerned. We got to check break. We got to reflect. We got to look around and say, what's happening here? Is this about opposing view or diverging view, or is it about enmity? Where are we? And that's why you see what happening in the country happening. Where young people who did not even experience what we passed through. I'm 55, so I've been around. I saw all the war. I saw April 14. I saw April 2. I saw everything. So I can reflect on history and know that something is bad. But why you see all the young people who did not even see the war. Some of them were wearing dapper, or they were born during the war. You see them doing the things they're doing, like what we saw at Mama Point. Because they see in politics and enmity. I'm on the other side, the other people on the other side, and not supposed to see them. It's bad.
Thank you, Pierre. And I'll be remiss if I don't talk about the relationship I have with Ali. Ali and I have come a very long way. We went to junior and senior high school together. We both enrolled at the university. During the war years, we even stayed together. So he's a guy I admire his audacity, his tenacity, and his passion for the UP. Ali joined the UP in 1997 when the UP had just, we just come from war, and Taylor, it was clear that Charles Taylor was the favorite, but yet still he mustered the courage to join the UP. And ever since then, he has been not just a member, but he has been actively involved with the internal politics of UP and the national politics. So we would like to wish the new leadership under Reverend Luther Tapper and his able SG Amos Twer best wishes and Godspeed as they steer the affairs of the Unity Party in the next 6 years. So let's now move to our next segment of the conversation, where it's been 72 hours since that bloody July 26th, where we all saw the very graphic image, video and pictures of a young student being stripped naked, beaten, bastardized, brutalized by state-sponsored talks. 72 hours later, the police has not made any arrest. No one has been held accountable. What is happening in Liberia? Senator, you go first on this one.
No, let me speak last on this.
Okay, so let's go, Pia. No, let me go with Daniel. Daniel, you go first, then Pia. You muted, Daniel.
Thank you, Stephen. The incident involving the young convert from the Student Unification Party, I think is very much unfortunate that at his age, he has to be going through such a pain at this point. I'm not too sure that, apart from the government making any arrest or any inquiry as to what obtained on July 26th, I'm not really too sure that the government has gone in to ensure that this young man seek better medical attention, because this morning some of his colleagues has started to post on Facebook that his condition had deteriorated. And we all keeping in our prayer, but still on a most serious note, I think it is not just unfortunate for our country, but I want to agree that this country has not only degenerated to a point where things that are usually considered to be abnormal are now being considered to be the way of life. When you see that people who go into the streets to exercise their constitutional right being brutalized by opposite forces from the regime, and this come at a point in time when the regime has already sanctioned ex-rebels, right? Nathaniel McGill is the Minister of State. He's the super prime minister. They are ex-rebel. You remember the famous situation involving Representative Yeka Koruba and General Power. Yeah. So all of those ex-rebels are in the employ of the we-are-led governments. I'm told that Mr. Bill Tiawe, who is the managing director of the National Port Authority, is providing monthly subsidy for the people, all of the ex-general. So what happened on July 26th is a clear manifestation of the unwillingness of the we-are government to allow Liberians the free space to exercise their constitutional right. The only reason for which that young man is going through such a pain at this point is because he decided to exercise his constitutional right. Look, what's wrong with the student of the Student Unification Party asking the government? The Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission has indicted the folks alleged What is the president waiting for to take action? The government, the LSCC, the government of Liberia, has indicted Women Pay and all of the senior managers at the Liberia Institute for Statistics and Geoinformation Services. What is the government waiting for to take swift action to ensure that the public can be convinced that the Weah government is committed to the fight against corruption? Nothing has been done. So part of the point the student raised, because I was at the Capitol building when it came to present the petition to the senators. And the issue alleges, the corruption saga alleges one of the key points. Okay, so I think there are germane issues that have been raised in the petition to the president to fix the country. So any serious-minded government would not want to clamp down on dissenting voices. SUP, as we all know, has been a critical voice. Even with the guns to their heads, they have always stood up to despotic regimes in Liberia. Okay, so there's no ostensible reason why Mr. Weah, who's supposed to be a democratically elected president to protect the democratic rights of the Liberian people, will unleash thoughts against unarmed and peaceful students who are gone, not even the proximity. Interestingly so, not even the proximity.
Where on Benson Street at the embassy.
The venue at which the Independence Day celebration was being held. It was being held on Ashmore Street, and these students have gone to the U.S. Embassy. So the retaliation from the, I don't know whatever the group is, I don't want to call that name to get any undue relevance, but the retaliation from the guys who are opposed to the regime was absolutely unprovoked. Okay, and what even pains me, and it's even frustrating more, is that the Liberia National Police have issued a statement saying that they are yet to receive any formal complaint from the victim of the brutality that was carried out on July 26th. I think it's not just unfortunate, because when Mr. Weah took over, the police, the Liberia National Police, was one of those agencies that he decided to politicize. From the director up to the least paying the police, they are all now playing the role of a partisan. Okay, you saw how the police officer was smiling and laughing when the young men were being brutalized by the other guys for the CDC. The police has video footages available to it. What is the police waiting for to make arrests based on probable cause? The evidence are overwhelming. The pieces of evidence are overwhelming. This young man unarmed is being brutalized. You have the video. The faces of those who meted out this violence against him are being shown. What is the LP waiting for to make any arrest? Today, that's what it did. They invited boys from the CDC to suit. They went at the cell quarter of the LMP. They took photo and posted on social media. As if to say their action against the young men on July 26th is not just provoking the public. They came back today and began to post pictures on Facebook that will follow the public. Everything that happened, I think that we are government have acted the brutality against voices, and they also want to use this thing because this is not the first time. They want to use this form of brutality to scare away opposition. Because you recall in 2018 how Mr. Koji disrupted the campaign rally of Coordinator Crowd Tukpa in district number 13. You recall how our own Tila Yuri was almost killed in district number 15. And you know, all of these incidences of violence, state-sponsored violence against key opposition figures are still being investigated by the police. Even to the extent where Senator Nyombi Kanga Lawrence, a senator in this government, filed a formal complaint against Koji. The police has yet to invite Koji, and the investigation has continued. It's been 4 years on. Okay, so Stephen, I just think that everything that's happening speaks to the fact that Mr. Weah has not read through the pages of this country's history. Any president who is critical, who has a head well balanced between his shoulder, would not tread the kind of general path Mr. Weah and people are treading, because you cannot scare us into submission. We are a people that have experienced 14 years of brutal civil conflict. We persevere. Our resilience as a nation became true. Okay? So when we were seeing people starving to death in this country, we have on the PSG playing football. So the brutal things that we are seeing in this country, you're not seeing it. Okay? So you can scare us. I mean, I can just hope that our international watch it.
Thank you. I think we're losing.
Brutality against critical voices has never been. Are you there? Has never been. I mean, a comprehensive tool, a comprehensive to maintain great political power. Mr. Doe did it, he didn't succeed. He didn't succeed. The best way you can maintain the democratic space is to allow everybody to compete. The country wouldn't have burned. Mr. President wouldn't have seen what this. Had he sent a junior or senior officer today, go to the street from the and see that the president said, "Well, no matter do." Okay, it wouldn't build your democracy to do so, but to unleash.
Daniel, we're losing you.
Daniel, your
Daniel.
network is kind of terrible.
You get
So let's
it,
go to
man.
Pia.
You need to log
Yeah,
on
so
and come
let's
back
go to
in. Your
Pia. Why
network
you
kinda
trying to
bad.
adjust it?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. But you see, Stephen, nothing should surprise anybody here anymore. I don't know why when these things happening, when things are happening, we say we're surprised. Yaka Koluwa went to Grand Gide. He was attacked. They almost killed him. The government launched an investigation. We are still waiting for the findings of those investigations. Their own government official, the Minister of Internal Affairs, went to Grand Gide. They were sitting in the radio station talking when the superintendent, Kafari, and whatever situation he has with the representative in that county.
Even the police guy at the headquarters. You remember the CDC police guy at the headquarters?
Yeah, they jump on him in that studio. They have to run him out. Like Daniel said, Colonial in district number 13, Chidia in district 15, called Yeka Koluba versus Marvin Sakor.
Yeah.
In all of these instances, the government announced that they were investigating those matters. Those investigations are still on. So to see the government telling you now that they're doing another investigation is another way of saying this matter is finished, the case is closed. But then you're left with the people. You're left with the people. The people can decide whether these guys continue to behave the way they are doing or they stop. Look, if you see the video, I said right in America, I'm not in Liberia. But just from looking at the video, I can name people who were there attacking the young man. How can the police sit and be asking people for evidence? What evidence? The work of the police is when there is an act of lawlessness for them to make the intervention because what they pay for, they don't wait for complaint to act. If you look at the video, you will see Ben Bilitoba there. You see Hassan Traoré. You see Poka Rabo. You see Adraman Barry. You see that lady, the only lady among them, they call her Chantel Harris. You see Fode Massacre. All these people whose name I'm calling are clearly reflected in the video. So the police is aware of who the actors are. The police does not need any complaint to arrest and deal with those people. They're just playing the game as they normally know how to do it. It's shameful, it's embarrassing that the Liberian National Police, the name, it's a state security agency that bears the name of the country, has become a partisan group. The UN and other actors spend millions to build a new police force. They spend millions to build a new army. The army, to understand, is living up to what was anticipated. The police, because the requirement for how you put in people is not strong enough, since the CDC came in, they just infused the place with partisan. Already, Patrice Sulu and others were already partisan. I remember during the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time, there were always tussles and tussles between Patrice Sulu and some of his senior officers. Because anytime they had a situation involving the opposition at that time, Sedition, Patrick, the position he was in required that he would have been one of the guys on the front line always. He was always reluctant to act because he saw them always as his people. You don't make state security apparatus out of a partisan-shaped group. We're not learning our lesson. Stephen, I always make reference to the fact that I've been around and we've seen many things. 1990, when I went across the bridge, I left Cinco 16th Street where I was living, I went across the bridge. One of the things that was a taboo to be discovered was to see somebody, not with uniform, but to see somebody who was identified as a former police officer or a former army officer. That person was there. All right? They will be summarily executed. People were burning police uniform. People were burning army uniform. You know why those things took place? It is because of these kinds of behavior. People didn't just hit the police people, the army people in 1990 and start running after the way they were doing. They were doing so because of what they experienced from them prior to the war. And the bunch of people who still call themselves state security people, they didn't learn any lesson from it. become the transition of our entire police force into a partisan movement, and you see somebody being killed and a policeman is standing there laughing and smiling and walking away, and he thinks it's okay. And what is even more painful is that while the government and its structures are misbehaving, civil society actors that are supposed to stand up, somebody got to shout on their head before they say something. It took people making noise before we saw a statement from the Liberian Council of Churches. It took people making noise before you see Independent National Human Rights Commission. Independent National Human Rights Commission has a statutory responsibility to investigate human rights abuses. You cannot reduce yourself to a mere statement issuing entity. That's when the Reverend Bartholomew Collins was there. You saw how many instances involving state security and protesters that they investigated and held the government liable. They didn't like that. That's why they chased them out. They brought in a group of people, Denzel Brown, who was one of the largest voices during the past administration. He's been a partisan person throughout. It's known. Nobody can pretend they don't know what Denzel Brown has been politically. These are the folks that are now running the Independent National Human Rights Commission, and all they have reduced that powerful institution, an institution that was made so strong by Reverend Collins and his team, they reduced that institution to just issuing press releases. Press releases don't save anybody. If people don't act, if you have a statutory responsibility to investigate something, investigate it. Don't issue press release. We're not interested in press release. Press release doesn't change anything. And the people in power, because they are bandits and they are gangsters, the languages they understand is not press release language. So when your actions are restricted to press releases, they will continue to misbehave. Okay? For example, Stephen, and you and I talked this morning. When we were in student activism, and I can take you back to March 21st, when we had the situation at level into Ezra. When we create a condition and we come on an attack, we don't abandon our own.
No.
If Stephen Johnson was left behind at that time, we're not going to walk away. We're not going to run away. We're going to make ourselves available. If you want to kill us, we'll kill us.
We'll regroup and go back.
So one of the things I've been concerned about is how did Sisulu, how did he remain alone? If you look in the street before the embassy, you had dozens of activists, right? So what happened? Where did they go? That they just left this young man vulnerable to a group of thugs to almost want to kill him. Even in the army, Stevie, if you're on the battlefront and your soldier got killed, the troops don't necessarily just retreat. They will first lay siege to the body of the person who's falling. And when they're retreating will be comrade who's falling in arm. And that has always been it. When Doe brought his beat, move or remove something, you saw one major student leader being harmed because they were protected by military. Military would never lead them vulnerable while they run away. So the tactics have to change. If we're encouraging people to get involved with demonstration, with protests, we cannot leave them vulnerable by the sound of just one tear gas or some weaklings led by the likes of Ben Toba and coming and everybody will just run, get a schedule and leave one single man vulnerable. Until it becomes to some extent fire for fire, these thugs, these bandits, these criminals will continue to do what they are doing. All right? Don't rely on statement coming from Independent National Human Rights Commission. It mean anything. Don't man policemen saying that who they know all the perpetrators, they know all the actors. They're sitting down there saying they didn't get complaint. Who's supposed to complain to you when you saw lawlessness? When your officers were on the scene and they were smiling when somebody was being killed.
You're giving them water up.
Yeah, and you say you're waiting for a complaint. What's wrong with these fools? What's happening to them? What has come over them? The 5 senses God gave, or I won't remain with some of them, or what? Sorry for my language, but what nonsense is this? What nonsense is this? Why are these guys taking the country back down the road that saw us kill each other with 250,000 people being killed? Now, what is that? What is that? George Weah, you president of the Republic of Liberia, you're not president of CDC. Start transforming our national institution into a partisan group and start being satisfied with acts of banditry and lawlessness. You want to attend a conference being called by the United States government to promote democracy, the rule of law, and anti-corruption activities, and all these things that are the major element of this conference, you falling short of everything. Corruption is all over the place. Human rights abuse is rampant. Rule of law is on a big question, but you want to come to the US to attend a conference on human rights, on rule of law, on anti-corruption? I just want some of our brothers who've gone to DC, because some of our brothers have been deployed to DC to make some effort. I hope the US government can have a
There will
turnaround.
be consequences.
Yeah, I hope
There
they
have been some high-level
they
representation.
have a turnaround in removing Liberia from the list of African leaders that's supposed to participate in that conference.
Yeah, I think we need to stress that with our congressional members here.
You killing a young student comrade because you want to exercise his right? You dismantle the whole anti-corruption institution because you have problem with the individual who's heading it, and you want to come to America to attend an anti-corruption rule of law and forum? What is that? What is that? What's wrong with the George Weah? Because I dare call
Man
him
lobbying
boy.
against himself.
I can call him man because the behavior and conduct is far from being a man. What's wrong with that boy? So the bad thing that brown people did to elect you undeservingly. Arrest, man, Stephen.
Thank you, Pierre. Thank you, Pierre. Thank you. Senator.
Look, let me put it squarely. Some people say Liberians are scary people. Some people say opposition weak. There's a two-way street here. It's a catch-22. First, let me be on the record. Opposition, and especially opposition leaders, don't take the lead. They country tired with press statements. This government does not understand press statement. The government takes press statement and trash it. Opposition, political parties, and opposition leaders speak about protests and speak harshly to issues in the country when it affects their political ambition. There will be no election if there is no candidate. Opposition leaders don't even announce that they will lead a rally in this country against rape, against missing children, against mysterious deaths, things that affect the people who are partisans or citizens. Opposition leaders don't take the lead. They don't. You don't see them in the forefront announcing that enough is enough tomorrow because 3 Liberian citizens are missing. We are going to rally this country to call the government attention and compel the government to act. Opposition political parties and opposition political leaders don't take the lead to say a 6-year-old child was raped to death. We want answers. We want justice. We demand justice. Opposition leaders and opposition political parties don't take the lead themselves, inspiring the partisans and the country, demanding answers against rape, mysterious deaths, missing Liberian people, and this latest act of barbarism committed before the camera. Everybody issuing press statement. We had to almost compel the Council of Churches to issue a press statement. We had to almost shame the independent Human Rights National Human Rights Commission to issue a press statement. Only for the Liberian National Police to invite the culprits who are clearly seen on video. Liberians are either now weak, but they are not being inspired into standing up. Something must be wrong. You think I come inside here to condemn tonight? I have done the condemnation. It's time for us to act.
Yes.
For the police to invite corporates clearly seen in the video committing an act, to invite them to do what? Once
For dinner. Invite them for dinner.
Once the government announced investigation, like Pierre said, it was sufficient to tell us that this is done. And the only way arrest of perpetrators will be made to be brought to justice will be when we rise up. When we rise up. I was just looking at the Constitution of Liberia. Article 17. It says, all persons. It says some people. It says certain category of people. It says all persons at all times. That Article 17 of the Constitution. All persons at all times in an orderly and peaceable manner shall have the right to assemble and to consult upon the common good, to instruct their representatives, to petition the government. I wanted to read this point here for us to see. They say, all persons at all times, whether it's 26th day, whether it is the president's birthday, whether it's the day Jesus Christ resurrected from the dead, all persons at all times have the right to assemble in a peaceful and orderly manner. I want to see a man wouldn't be because we won't be president. I want to see when the serious political parties and leaders in this country, including me who's sitting here, will lead a charge and not just wait for only Henry Costa or the soup folks or ordinary market people. When last have we stood up for our people at Red Light Market? They close their stores. I mean, all these things happening. When will we wake up? When? The churches issuing release, the human rights, nobody is standing up. Everybody issuing release. And the government knows that they will issue release. And then after 2 days, it will go to bed. What happened to Chris Civilly can be in law equated to attempted murder.
Yeah.
And those who committed that heinous act must be arrested. Must be arrested. And if the government fails to arrest these people between now and Monday, I know some people won't like this, but we will announce the actions to compel the government. We will announce the action. This action, we're going to go playing long meetings when to protest. No, we're going to be doing mobilization for people to come from here and there. We will announce those who believe in this cause will stand up. Let me say something. Liberians do have a problem. We, generally, when Henry Costa radio station was being shut down, Henry Costa announced that there are 5 to 15 police officers who have gone to illegally vandalize and loot and close our station down. All Liberians who believe in free expression and believe in what we do with Voice FM, go and stand up. Within 10 minutes, you know what happened? The station was flooded with almost 1,000 Liberians. 995 of them were doing selfie and video live. Oh, look at the people getting it. We say go there to prevent. We say go there, go do live and stand up and take pictures that you are on. Go there and act. Go there and prevent it from happening. We must see the churches. We must see the Imam Council. We must see the political leaders. We must see the political parties. We must see ordinary Liberians standing up before the executive mansion or that police station and demanding the arrest of these people. We announce those actions on Monday.
Okay. Thank you, Senator. I think it's very important that we stand up.
And any political leader, this is not threat or bluff. Any political leader or party that believe that they must only be president before they think about the well-being of the people, if you sit down here and don't do anything, there will be no Liberian here for you to govern over or for you to lead. Because this government is systematically, every day there is 2 or 3 bodies discovered dead around Monserrato or the country. Every day there is a cry of a rape victim, some dying. Every day there's some news of some mysterious death, body discovered. And if we sit and we think, let's just wait for 2023 before we act, there will be no Liberian left for any of the political leaders who won't be president and must be president before they can do anything for this country, there will be no Liberian sitting and living and waiting. Any political leader, especially from the opposition, who believes that you have your right and you must be president, if you don't join the ordinary people to demand this government to act on behalf of the people and in the people's interest, we will call you out and we campaign against you. You must not only be president, before you stand up, you must stand up to earn the presidency that you're craving for.
Thank you.
Dylan,
Yeah, Pierre.
Taylor, please check your WhatsApp. I'll send you a message. I will add on right away.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, and let me say this to the Liberian people. I think we've allowed a lot of things under this administration to go unanswered. Whether it was the death of the auditors, the three missing boys, the death of Patrick Niswa, Princess Kopo death. Up to now, I don't know the status of her body with the government.
They turned it over the other day.
All right, and then the missing magistrate in Grand Gita. There has been a lot of situation far right for Liberians to act. I don't know what are we waiting for. What are we waiting for to call on our government to amalgamate ourselves into a movement to demand answers from our government? There's no better time than now. We have a responsibility to those who have lost their life under this administration. You know, if the recent video circulating don't enrage your conscience to act, then I'm afraid if the rape and subsequent death of a 6 years old don't enrage your conscience to act, then I'm afraid. I don't know what is it must happen for Liberians to act. I don't know.
Part of it is that the people need leadership, they need direction, and that's the reason why some of us have chosen that early next year we'll back in Monrovia. We're not going to sit down in America and be telling the people what to do. No, absolutely. We'll be back there. We all have to do what we're supposed to do to remove that system. If the system attempts to rig the election, the consequences that we expect to unfold, we got to be a part of it. We cannot be at a distance and expect the people to be magical. We understand these things. That's our terrain. We got to be there. We got to help them. We have to provide direction. We got to be with them. That's what the people need. You know, and like that's what Dylan was saying. What is wrong? You just saw in Sri Lanka. Nobody shot a gun there. The military did not intervene. It was people's power. Millions of people were in the street. The very government security forces were there, they got confused. They chased them out. That's how strong people's power is. But they need some motivation. They need people who will motivate and inspire them. And the way to do that is not to sit at a distance and tell them, say, while you're waiting for your 40-year hand, 80-year, until you're doing this way, they expect you to be involved. And that's what I respect Henry. Got a lot of respect for Henry. With all the differences we have, when Ellen was in power, some of his style were things that I didn't agree with the way he did it. But this is a courageous young man. When he wanted to take on the system, he did not sit here and tell people to do something. He went against all the pieces of advice that came. People told him, "Oh, those guys are killers. Don't go there. They will kill. They will do that." He said, "No, I'm going there."
Okay, Pierre.
Yes, sir.
Pierre, can we hold you right there?
Yeah, I know.
We have Reverend Luther Tapper. We have Reverend Luther Tapper on the line, the newly elected chairman of the Unity Party. So let's get his perspective and his vision for going forward with Unity Party. Reverend Tapper, welcome. Hello. Reverend Tapper?
What's wrong with the Reverend again?
Hello? Okay, let's proceed. I will try to get him back.
Steven is frozen.
Let's proceed. I will get Reverend Tapper back on the line.
Well, I have to pause to listen to Reverend Tapper. Yeah. So, Pierre, go ahead. You're saying.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. The people, I mean, it's about time that we don't just sit at a distance and say we expect you to do that, we expect you to do that. And like I was giving an example of Henry. When Henry thought it was important to take on this administration, on the two instances he tried to do it, June 7 and what was the other one?
January 6th.
January 6. He went there. He went there. And true to the fact, again, you will see that the guys wanted to harm me. You saw what happened right from Muma checkpoint. That everybody scattered. But that didn't scare him away. It didn't scare him away until they brought their fake laissez-passer story. And that's been so weak. You can't be a government that is that lazy. They didn't carry a gun. Right?
Yeah.
He used his mouth and he used the rest of the people to tell you that something is wrong. And you could not even stand here. You have to chase him or you had him behind some laissez-passer, all those kind of things. That's been lazy. And these are the same group of people when they were in, when for the past 12 years when they were in opposition, they did unimaginable things. Who goes in the street with living casket on their head? They did it. Okay? I hear Musa Dean talking about as far as concerned, nobody asked them for permit.
Who needs it?
Yeah, making reference to the soup situation. Musa, have you forgotten? That very institution that has given you a government job. When they said they wanted to protest and Christiana Tar, the then justice minister, said people who want to do that will have to do protest. What did George Solo and the rest of the citizens say? He was a chairman at that time. He even insulted that woman and said if she called herself woman, when they jump in the street, she must try some nonsense. Because there's no law that requires them to do that. Today you want to see
okay. So we get Reverend Tape back.
Yeah, let's go to Reverend quick.
He's traveling from Banga, so the signal may drop. But Reverend Tape, good evening and welcome.
You got to stop while he's talking to you. When you finish talking, then you keep driving.
Mr. Chairman, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Senator.
Yeah, so you're on your way back to Monrovia after the convention. How is it?
Well, it was very robust campaign, and finally we give God the glory that we were able to emerge as the chairman of the party. And I do not consider this to be a very easy task, but our concern now is to unite the party to ensure that we work with everybody, because we know that even from 2017, there are many unity partisans around the world who have been disenfranchised or, did away. And our major step is to reconcile and ensure that unity partisans in Liberia and around the world will be united, form a united front, because the Unity Party is the largest bloc of the opposition, and it's very cardinal going to 2023 that will remain a united front to face the PDC government.
So as you take over the helm of leadership at the Unity Party, what's your relationship with the outgoing leadership?
Oh, well, very, you know that elections have its own emotional toll on people. But the outgoing chairman, Ami Modad, extends to me a statement of congratulations, which I really appreciate. And we both agree, and all of our supporters, it's time for the task behind us. And look forward to uniting the party to become a formidable political institution.
Do you have any role for members of the outgoing leadership?
For sure. There is always role in this Chairman Tape's regime as the chairman of the Unity Party. Absolutely. Amin Boda is a very intelligent person who wants to contribute to his country. Even Moali, who have done excellent work for the party in past years. We would definitely be very happy to incorporate them in our leadership to continue to serve their party and their country.
So what's your plan like going into 2023? Unity Party, are you going to engage into opposition unity, collaboration? What's your plan?
Well, we first of all, as a team, as a new leadership for our party, we are intending to have a 2-day retreat to draw out our roadmap leading up to the general election in 2023. But it's an open secret that Unity Party alone cannot form a formidable force to face the CDC in 2023. We definitely going to collaborate with other friendly political institutions. But all of the details have to be discussed, vetted, and something we believe that the kind of thing that the Liberian people will want. So we are equally open to collaborating with institutions.
Any plans to rejuvenate the defunct CPP?
Not at this point. I mean, you can never say never, even in politics. But at this point, we just coming from the convention. Our team is going to work on having a clear framework. We are going to go into collaboration with other political parties. What are the things we're looking for? We have to be very clear on some very cardinal issues. And so as about rejuvenating the CPP, I can't say that for sure at this point. But I do know that the Unity Party is open to collaborate with other institutions going forward.
Chairman,
No, don't let him go. Don't let him go. Don't let him go.
Okay, Olympia wants to interact with you.
You have a whole panel here, so you are looking at.
Let's ask him if he can hear you first. Can you hear Olympia?
You will relay. I'm sure you will not hear me.
He can hear you clear, so I will relay.
Yeah, please relay.
Yeah.
So here's my problem, Reverend Tappe. I have already vouched for you because I know you, but that electoral process was engulfed with a lot of conspiracy theory with regards to yourself. It's good to hear from the horse's mouth. Without naming the kind of conspiracy theories that were moving around, how do you respond to some of them? If you heard them.
If you did it, did you get here?
Can you restate some of the
Go ahead, they don't please do that.
Yeah, he wants to know what are some of the conspiracy theory you're talking about, Pierre, so I can relate to him.
No, what I'm saying, people had a lot of different conspiracy theories about who the candidates were, whether they were working for people, where they come from, what their agenda. And I'm sure as a political person, he heard some of them. As a person who knows who he is, I've watched for him, but it's good to hear from the horse's mouth. How does he respond to some of the things, conspiracy theories that was concerning himself? How does he respond to them?
Chairman Tappe, did you get it? Okay.
I want to say to Honorable Pierre that obviously people are lining your character and linking you with some fabricated story seems to be a kind of lovely way of doing politics in places like Liberia. But definitely those fabrication, or this person is sponsoring him, this person is putting him in the political field. Those are things that are all fabricated. They are not true. There are no evidence to support that. But we heard it. And that at some point kind of swayed the voters' plan of the electing us. But after the debate, it became very clear to the voters that we were authentic. We were not in the process to really, we're not in this process for, being funded by someone that X, Y, and Z. Those were just fabricated stories. So we kind of ignored them. And our message was clear. We wanted to unite Unity Partisans. We wanted to be visible in terms of physical presence. We wanted Unity Partisans to believe in an institution of integrity and people who they believe that care for them. And our message kind of resonated with the people. Despite of all the fabrication, God had we wanted to.
Reverend Tappe,
The final one, then you can continue with him.
okay, Pierre has another question.
Yeah.
Let's not forget he's on a highway. We will lose him.
Yeah.
So I told you, say he must stop the car while he's talking to us. So this one is very trivial. Trivial, but it's very important to me because sometimes some of the things we think are trivial can be of concern to some people. There were 5 persons that called me, and the only problem they have with Luther was that he's a Tappe, and therefore he's on ground crew. And it's a wrong thing at this time going to election for the Unity Party to have a man from ground crew to be chairman of the party. I try to dissuade them that for me, that's not important. It doesn't matter whether you gribble, you cry, you what. But the few persons who called me stuck to that. So now that the Reverend is on the line, Reverend, can you tell the Liberian people, all of us are Liberians. Stephen is a Liberian, Dilo is a Liberian, I'm a Liberian, but we are Liberians and we come from different sectors of Liberia. Can you tell the people where you come from, Reverend?
Thank you, Pierre. I'm from Riverside County. I'm not from Grand Crew. In the Riverside Belt, there are crew people there too. It's sickening that in this time of our national history, people are very troubled. They get all these trouble labels they put on people. They don't judge people by the content of their character. They don't deal with people based on what they can bring on board, the competence and skills they have. Rather, they just judge you based on all these sentiments of travel sentiments. But those were things that they were spilling out into the campaign process. Oh, Tappe he's a crew man. Joey is a crew man. You kidding me? Jerry, I might be a crew man. Of course I am. I didn't choose to be a crew man. God made me a crew man, and I'm glad I'm a crew man. But not all crew people are people who subscribe to the Jewish theory. Absolutely not. I belong to my own political institution, and I must protect its integrity. Why must I then just throw my integrity in the mud overnight just because I'm a crewman? I don't function along those kinds of labeling and things. So,
Reverend Tappe, let me ask you one question before you go.
Yeah.
Straight jacket question.
Go ahead, sir.
Are you being influenced, or do you have connection with Mother Ellen Johnson Sirleaf?
The answer is no. Absolutely no.
Thank you. My mother is from Riverside. She's also cool. So now
If you don't even know, Senator, maybe at some point, but we can talk off your show at some point.
And they don't. Why the Reverend on the land? Let me just say this as a continuation of working for him. When the Reverend had some concern, he was not a party leader, but he had some concern about Ellen and President Sirleaf and Bouakar's relationship. He's on the line, and you can confirm with him. He called me, and we stayed on the telephone for more than 1 hour discussing about Ellen and Joe Bouakar. And the chairman know what I told him. I told him that we need everybody. The Unity Party belongs to everybody. But I advised him at that time that it was important for the party to pay attention to 1, raising funds, and 2, reaching out to the voters as the 2 most important things, then taking Ambassador Bouakar and President Sirleaf issue to be the most important. I said that to him. So if he had that kind of connection, if he had that kind of influence on Ellen, I'm not sure you would have been calling Mr. Pierre from way in the States, who was press secretary 5 years ago, and trying to see what he could do with regard to the Ellen question.
thank you, Pierre. So, Reverend Tappe, thank you. I just wanted to add that my mother is from Riverside. She's cool. So I got some cool blood. And the fact that I got cool blood and I'm not behind George Weah, same goes to you. From Riverside, cool, and you can be behind George Weah. Thank you and congratulations. Safe drive back to Monrovia.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you,
safe
sir.
travel.
I see why the senator making plow.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
So,
Now all the crew people left out, man. Now all the crew people.
yeah, I know, guys. We would like to wish Reverend Tappe best wishes on his election as the new chairman of the Unity Party. Senator, can we put our number on the screen so that we can open our lines? We're now going to
Yeah.
our last segment, which is
Yeah.
the have your say.
Yeah.
Our callers can call in and speak their mind on issues
Yeah.
concerning.
We want to give sufficient time to our callers to participate.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Still had 35 minutes. That's enough. It's good.
Yeah.
And for those on radio, and not following
I
on
just
social media,
I just like to recommend. I think we should give at least some priority to local calls, because I figure that most of our calls can come from the diaspora.
so
The
let's
last
do this.
couple of days, most of our call been coming from Liberia.
Yeah, so let's do this. You want to let's dedicate one number for the female.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. I say you have two
Yeah,
different lines.
Daniel Sano, you got one number you can take calls from for females.
Mr. Dillon?
Yes, you can put 888.
Mr. Dillon,
Yeah.
before we go to the line, I'm here getting all the information. But somebody believe that you should call, if you have number, you should call him as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just text me. So please do that.
Yeah. So I will do that backstage. I will do that
Okay.
backstage.
Senator, I'm texting my number.
Just read the number. Read the number, or you on the radio for the people on the radio, especially.
888-122. 888-12221.
Don't Alex want to touch your heart. Read the number.
888. 0888.
Don't run. Yeah.
122.
Bossman. Just say
Yeah.
0888.
Yeah.
0888.
Don't run.
122.
0888 122
221.
You can talk fast?
221.
0888
Yes.
221.
221. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what zero about 821. No, don't go to the people.
You can talk faster than me, so don't laugh at me here.
Yeah, but 0888 122 221.
Correct.
Only for females.
Yes.
Only for
For
females.
males, for males in and out of Liberia, or especially in Liberia, is 777-777-510-588. It's also on WhatsApp for those in the diaspora. The number to call 0777-510-588 is reading on the screen. It's also on WhatsApp. We'll get the first call tonight.
Hello?
Good evening, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Ansu Sano, calling from Jakarta.
Ansu, how are you?
Number Honorable Dillon.
You got 1 minute. I told you to leave me with Honorable Tato. Senator, okay. ADD, okay, yeah. I'll let that Honorable Tato be. Yeah. Everybody that honorable in the country, some kind of way, everybody do different things.
That's true. We appreciate you always.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your hard work. Thank you also for the show. Concerning about the CDC COP issue, Senator, we are waiting for you the day you announce to go extend for those guys at the Butolas. We are here waiting for the day that you will announce that we're going to be with you. Anytime you want for to leave, we will leave. Anytime you want for to go, we will go. We are waiting for you.
Thank you.
We voted
I will call you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a call, yes, Senator.
Yeah, take the female caller.
Go ahead, madam.
Okay, good evening, guys. How are you all?
We good, huh?
Yeah, Senator Dillon?
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. How are you? This is one of your strong supporters. My name is Mrs. Kula M. Kamara from Douala. We're waiting for you on Monday. I'm a member of the COP. Senator Dillon, this thing is too much. This morning I cried for that child that lying down in the hospital, Senator Dillon. The child that came to me this morning, I couldn't hold my tears. So your try for us, it's not easy. My niece son was among the 3 guys that the Moses carried and never to return to their parents. So you need to do it. Carolina Pia knows me very well. Say Pula Kamara. Pushable entity. This is Pula Kamara.
That's my ex-in-law.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Daniel will take enough calls from the females as we receive them. We have one call
Okay.
here. Caller, good evening, and where you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Yaka Coleman, the township of West Point.
Your name Yega Koluba of West Point?
Yeah, Yaka Coleman, the township of West Point, Colorado.
So that's not a Yega Koluba who is representative, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this is the one representing West Point.
Okay, you representing West Point. You got 1 minute on the line.
Okay, very good, because I'm listening to you. I'm very much happy about Unity Party Convention because of Reverend Chapman. All of us are embracing Reverend Chapman to be one of the great men, because we know that Reverend Chapman become a one-party chairman for Unity Party, because they make a move, they make a mobilize, they know how to mobilize things. We're going with our willing heart. We'll make sure the party will go in front. God will accept us to win 2023 by God's power. And the youth chairman position, we were discussing the youth chairman position ever since about our chairman. Our chairman for Unity Party, the youth chair, is above 40, and the age is 42. 42 years old can be a youth chairman for the party. Now, we're coming back in order to make sure to put this in together to have a regional youth chair for our party. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
we have one call here from a female caller from the diaspora on the WhatsApp line. Good evening.
I have a female also. I have a female on the line.
Okay. Caller on 61. Good evening. Welcome. Your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, Senator Dillon. This is Nelly Rawa calling
Yes,
you
ma'am.
from Indian,
hang on.
specifically Crop Borough.
Nelly, good evening. Welcome. You got a minute.
Okay, thank you. So I called to congratulate Reverend Pape. I was supporting him independently from my late corner here. I'm so happy. We want to say thank you to the past officials. We're hoping that every one of us work together. We are very, very happy to move forward. Coming to our comrade, I want to say I empathize with him. We are with him in prayer. Just to close out, Senator Dillon, I just want to remind what's the man name? Opon. That these are some of the reasons why I'm not a fan of Ellen Johnson selling, but these are some of the reasons why Ellen Johnson made a comment 1989 or 1990. She said, if it costs us to break the mansion down, we will break it down and build it.
No, but I don't agree with that.
Some of the reasons.
I don't agree with that.
I'm
She
just saying-
she was there. She was there. The
Okay.
mansion point on her. She couldn't face it for 2 years. I agree with that.
You know why I'm saying it?
Uh-huh.
Senator Dillon, you know why I'm saying it? Everybody here feeling bad. We are feeling so bad. And when these kind of things happen, there are others who be so emotional, they will say things that they're not supposed to say.
Right.
But I just want for Opon to know that what he's doing, we are not happy with him. He should know. 6 years will soon finish, and we will continue to live in Liberia. He made a political arena to be so toxic in Liberia. It was never like this before.
True.
It's under his regime.
True.
I just want him to know that.
That's true.
Thank you.
Nelly. Thank you, Nelly.
I have a caller on WhatsApp here. I
Yeah,
have a female caller.
go ahead, Daniel.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Hello to you guys in studio. My name is Rudy Bonner, calling from West Virginia. Thanks to every one of you in studio in regards to the topic on a discussion about the guys on two. I number one watched the video live when it was taking place. I followed it to the end, and this is very heartbreaking. As a woman, a mother, I saw that is somebody else's child. Abraham Barron Peter. I am a Liberty partisan. All of us in opposition, you guys, the opposition needs to stand up. The opposition is very weak. The opposition needs to stand up to PDC. We are sick and tired of seeing these things happening and all we see is press conference. We are tired with press conferences. This is time that we take action. This is time that your PP people, that is put it in that billion way, you need to stand up to this government seat. Hold the government seat to the fire. Just get onto the street. This is time for us to fight for our country. The country has gone Let me to do something. We are
Thank
taking
you.
that power. We're waiting for that pronouncement from you.
Thank you,
We
man.
Thank
will
you.
say our Papa for whatever we will. So we
Thank you,
need
dear.
our action. I want to say
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, caller. Hello. You calling from Spain or where?
Hello, this
Hello.
is Bonnie. I'm calling from Belgium.
From Belgium. You got 1 minute. Welcome.
Yeah. Senator Dillon, something clicked on my mind today when I heard that Mo Ali and Amin Muda lost election. You remember one time on Spoon Talk, that Prokian said that after the convention, this guy would be ex-member.
Who?
I'm calling from Belgium.
Yeah, who said that?
Musa Benedict.
Oh, don't mind that bluff. Don't mind that bluff. Don't give Musa more than
Don't give
what
Musa any relevant
don't give
here.
Musa don't give Musa anything that he doesn't earn or deserve.
Exactly.
Don't worry. The UP partisan freely elected there.
Exactly. UP want to tap it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nothing
there's
to
no
do.
ball of any external influence.
Musa has said plenty of things here that didn't happen. He said UP won't feed candidate in Lofa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, to sort of manner bluff, Musa was trying luck, and the UP partisan decided their own chairman, and the party is standing together. They are exhibited maturity. Don't give Musa nothing that he doesn't deserve, yeah?
Okay, I hope so. I hope to pray for that, my brother, because I know when this guy have the power, he always uses to influence the election.
Yeah, we know that, but the new leadership, I think we'll work along with them, and it will get better.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, DJ.
Thank you. But you're done, Finio. Daniel, you got call there?
Not yet. I don't have any. I don't have
let
any.
me take this local call. Hello, caller. Your name and where you calling from?
Good evening, the class.
Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Abu Sharif, and I call for Honorable Abu Manakana District 15 to be precise.
Abu, go ahead. Abu, you on the line?
Okay, thank you. I just called to give my input as to how the politics is being traded now in our country. It's quite unfortunate that we who are youth nowadays are being used as politicians. And that frustration has come from especially the opposition leaders. We elect people. Nowadays, these people benefit more than we who elect people. So we need people to take understand. This is ridiculous. There's so many. Imagine the case from District 16, from a veteran, and Bukama, from District 18, the case who got missing. Every time press release about action, let there be authentic action. They kill people. Please take on the stage. We will follow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Daniel, you got call there?
I don't have any.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and take the next one here.
Yeah, maybe we'll need to announce Daniel number somewhere.
Hello.
Hello, your name and where you calling from?
My name is Saul Kevlopane, calling from the Uru.
You got 1 minute.
Yes, Senator, I just want to make a few comments concerning the comrade who was on multiple PD. You know, the broad mentality is as the other man is about to and the other man is not about to, then the man who is about to, we say that the man who is not about to is not blessed. And like broad men always feel that when things is at their favor, they feel that other people are being cursed by God because they are not about to gather. The thing what they're talking, what the political matter was saying, we need to invite this guy. Somebody who perpetrated hideous crime like that, then he say you need to invite him. Yeah? That money they met over somebody on the price company because he told room from the bank. They say, oh, they may only me my pen, but he pays Farah so he can get the invitation. No. How that people looking? When something happens to me, now happens to the child, now happens to you, you always say, let me relax. But adjust even as it is, and we see the next action. Anytime you call, we are here and we're ready to get at the executive mansion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Dillon,
Yeah.
I think both of our audience following from the community radio stations are requesting that you please announce the general number.
The number is 0777-510-588 for men in Liberia. The number for the female, Daniel?
Yes, it's 0888-122-221.
Yeah, so 0777-510-588, and yours is what?
0888-122-221.
0888
Yes.
122-221 for females.
Yes.
So we'll take this one. Good evening. Your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Marcus Tupa, and I'm calling from the channel of the county.
From Grand Bassa County. You following on Radio Duba, right?
Yes, yes.
Good. Good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, actually, it is very, very unfortunate in our country, Liberia, according to what took place with the university student. Wow, and how should it be that people should live? If a culture man, unless the culture man of people waking up to raise a point, and then government and ordering people to go against them, that is the right of the people. So how do they want to live? Should we live? Everybody should be one. Everybody should be one. Everybody should be on the same side. For what? This thing is going on. Let the people sin us for the cause of the Look at that. We are all together, although we might be on the side, but the government should take heed. They should take heed. And watch yourself. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Donna, you got a
I have a
call?
call there. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, you are live. Go ahead. Just call your name. Where you call from?
Madonna,
Madonna, go ahead.
Thank you to him. Because they say he was lying, he didn't pay nowhere. So the day before yesterday, I saw that thing on live. I feel very happy, my senator. I said, big thank you to you. God will always carry you up. Thank you,
Amen.
Papa. That's all I want to say.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeleine. Thank you.
Thank you, Madeleine. Don't mind people when they're ready to. They want to do good for you. When we do it, they can't even tell.
But that's why the platform is for, an alternative platform to say the truth.
Yeah. So, hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Okay,
Just hold on.
go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening. Your name, where you call from?
My name is Ila B, and I'm calling from Painesville Bonance Farm Community.
All right, Ila, go ahead.
Okay. I would like to speak on the issue that occurred on the day of our independence celebration. And the militants of SUP were actually brutalized, and they were really not treated fairly by our government. On the day that we were celebrating our independence, and we found out that democracy was being tampered with. So in such a case, then how do we intend to be 175 years and then not still practicing democracy in a mature way? So we actually urge my government to be able to find out those perpetrators who brutalized the militants of the Vanguard Student Unification Party. So in that light, we hold our government feet to the fire. We hold our government accountable to us, and we are standing hereby to await their decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Ila.
Thank you. So we want to welcome Henry Costa on the show. Don Petro.
Gentlemen,
thank you very much.
The mayor, Tombo and Kenya, man.
Welcome, Henry.
Thank you, gentlemen. You're doing a great job, fantastic job. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So,
Man, how you can manage with that team, man? talk to us more, man. How you get money with it? Tell the caller again, be for fun, my man.
I mean, y'all doing a great job. I'm very proud, but it does not surprise me. Senator Dillon, you've already been doing this thing for a while. Stevie has a lot of experience appearing on talk shows. He understands the issues. Jeremy Pierre is a veteran. The man knows, the theatrics and everything, how to deal with the media and all of that. And all the other guys here doing
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So you guys are doing a fantastic job. The Reloader is. They baby, your boys are walking the scene. They seen it. Yeah, baby, not pro. Yeah, the movie.
And congratulations to the Costa Show. It is now aired on Bourgeois Radio 98.1.
And we are extremely grateful to you, Senator Dillon, as chair of the board of Bourgeois Radio, and that our show can be aired on our platform. I think this is why the class Reloaded is a great thing. Daniel, what's up, my brother? This is why it's a great thing.
Good to see you.
Thank you. We're in this game. We're going to 2023. Right. Message is key. All of us have the talent to communicate and to convey our message to our people from a platform or from platforms that we control. Not that we want to distort. We're not doing propaganda. We're informing. We're delivering a message to the people.
Correct.
But from in a way that's not truncated and distorted by other elements who are not in our camp.
Correct.
So the whole idea behind the class Reloaded, we have a brain trust of all of you, well-experienced, great communicators, people who have adept appreciation of the issues and can articulate the issues. Why don't we deploy these very talented communicators? They sit down there and just watch the other people matter, other people Sunday, then we'll be responding. They're lying.
That's true.
Right. And especially so, we were sitting and allowing our people to hear one thing over and over, especially that is not true. People going to bed feeling bad, people disappointed, they hurt, they're angry. People don't know how to cut their radio off when they're listening to something that making them angry, the pressure going up, they vest with the radio. The person who talking far from you, but that person, you're hearing it through the radio and making you vest. Tune it, turn it around, and turn it to other stations. So we decided that, yes, we got to give our people an alternative, not to come to spin anything, but to tell them the reality.
And especially, Senator, the period after Costa leaves the airwave up until the evening hour.
Yeah.
You don't have anything happening. Anything happening, that gap. So we thought that it was important.
It's a huge void.
Yeah. We thought it was important for us to fill that void too,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, Henry, before you came, we have gone over this UP convention. We thought it was mature, the exercise responsibility. They showed that democracy is in the UP. UP is a huge institution, been around since 1985. We spoke to the chairman, the new chairman, and he committed that his leadership will be unifying. He will work and incorporate the outgoing members of the outgoing leadership because they are institutional persons. What's your view?
Well, clearly, as everyone knows, I supported Amin Muda to stay on. I supported Mo Ali to stay on. Let me make that a full disclosure. However, I had nothing negative against Mr. Tape. I don't know. I have never heard anything bad about him. I think that if Amin was able to come from being a successful businessman to becoming chairman with no real political experience in terms of running a political institution as large as UP and succeed, so can Luther Tape. And so Luther Tape has an opportunity here, a clean slate, with which he can, weave up his own political history, his own political pedigree. And I think with a very able team of people he has there, because most of the people who were elected were simply re-elected. They were already in the party. So I think Luther Tape will enjoy that brain trust of vast experience. And one of the first things I said on is that he would have to do is to try to earn the respect of all the other people, because people work with you when you become when you come from outside as the head of an institution that people don't have a relationship with. They watch and they wait to see how you were engaged with them. The first thing you do is earn their respect. Once you do that, you will earn their admiration, you will earn their support. So I have no reason to believe that Luther Tappe would not know what to do. I believe he will know what to do. And I believe that there's going to be no disruption in the smooth operation of the party, because he's going to be ably supported by a cadre of well-experienced people who've been in the party for a long time, who know what needs to be done. So yeah, I give him my overwhelming support, just as I did with Amin. And I have never spoken with the man. I look forward to speaking with him, and I believe it's going to be good for us.
Thank you. And Pedro, let's move a little bit to the second segment of the show, which focused on the bloody 26, and it's been 72 hours since that incident, and we all watched on tape how graphic and horrific the scenes were, where a young man was maimed, he was brutalized, he was treated in a fashion, that was very demeaning. He was stripped naked. And it's been 72 hours since that incident. We have not seen any arrest from the police. We've seen 2 press releases, none of which speak to any arrest. What do you think? Do you think this is just another attempt by the police, as always, to protect these state-sponsored thugs as they go along, carrying out these kind of acts of banditry?
That's just what it is, Stephen. Unfortunately, this government does not believe that they're running a state that has people in it who don't support them. They think that everybody owes them support and loyalty. And so they put a high premium on fanaticism, unquestionable loyalty. If you kill somebody in George Weah's name, even they know you committed murder, they'll say, talking about that I'll begin, even though he killed somebody, but still, I'll begin with the begin kill the person for George Weah business. So, yeah. But when you are a leader, whether the man killed somebody, whether he did it because of you, out of love for you, you must punish that person, because you took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. And the Constitution guarantees rights that even you, the president, cannot decide to take away, because you don't have the power to take it away. One of such rights is what the students from SUP exercised on 26th day. There was no attempt to disrupt the Independence Day celebration. They were in a diametrically opposed location with no threat whatsoever to the event that was being held. What on God's earth was the justification for unleashing talks? And Ben, and my dear brother Stephen, what breaks my heart is that Ben Tokpa, those boys are doomed. But Didi, Senator, when they were with us, they were not talks. They were not.
They were disciplined. They were disciplined because we disciplined them.
We disciplined them. We staged a protest with tens of thousands of people, and those same boys did not cause trouble. But today, small, insignificant numbers, they have become hoodlums, wielding machetes, and you're stripping people naked and beating them. Today, the LMP, after days of all of us making noise about it, they said they invited them.
To a dinner.
Jeremy Pia, you have a tremendous experience in government. When was the last time a perpetrator, a clearly identified perpetrator, is invited by LMP of mindless violence? Wait, my brother. Do you ever
what were your crime when we placed you in handcuffs?
That a hope.
And then you have talks who were trying to really kill another human being, and you say you're inviting them. But this is something I said to Dylan and others before you came on. Patrick Sulu has been a civilian a long time. He and the guys in the hierarchy of the police used to have issue all the time during Ellington, because anything that was concerning CDC, he was an operational man. He wanted to do his job. He was always reluctant because he felt he had an obligation to protect citizens. Now he is at the whim of authority of the police. He has transformed the entire police into a partisan institution. And maybe this is, you guys are the guys who in charge of things, but there are some things we know that I don't know. The way the government is being run, you have a thematic area. So the whole security sector is a thematic area all by itself. And the boss man for that whole terrain at Jefferson Koji, maybe you don't know. All the security people take instruction from him. So once Jefferson Koji is involved with a group of people who committed the crimes as we saw them, Wado Suru will not have the guts to court them, to arrest them. He will say, oh, they are invited. I mean, it's just pure nonsense. And for me, in the way I see it, if they don't do the appropriate thing, if they don't do the needful to indict those boys, I think the soup that I have been part of, I'm not sure it's too different, but the soup that I have been part of has always been a radicalized student movement. If justice cannot prevail in this case, I think soupists to institute citizen arrest. They can arrest Ben Toba and the rest of them. They can arrest them and allow justice to be meted out, since the state that has that responsibility is trying to renege on this obligation. Because if nothing happens, Costa, as we all saw those videos, we got the people named Ben Toba, Poka Ravo, Hassan Traoré, Abdurrahman Barry, Chantel Harris, Fode Masakwe, Kendrick Pelina. These are the people. They are all known, openly known. If as known as they are, the state will not do anything about it, then the Vanguard Party must take their own course of action that will deter the people from ever trying that nonsense anymore anyway. That's all I can say.
I think that would be the best way to expose the government deception. I mean, after this whole incident of brutality, because the faces that have been named, that have been referenced here, are seen clearly on the video. And if the government say they have no reason to arrest the people, the second institute arrest and say you don't see on the video that the people who beat the man and brutalize him, are they? So they can commence an investigation, because I mean, it is not just an insult into the faces of Liberians who expect the government to do better. It is also an affront to the democrats of the country to have a government that doesn't have respect for human rights.
Why Ben Toba and others will be behaving that they live in some military barrack or police barrack? You live in your different homes. You got families. You got children. The thing they were doing to that young boy, if Ben Toba has a daughter or a son, well, if he found somebody treated his daughter or son like that, when he was with you guys, Costa, all the different protests he had, Ben was with you. If somebody had grabbed him and treated him that way, would he have been okay? What a behavior that they're living behind iron curtain, that they are unreachable. Even government officials that have all the authority, they're not barricaded by iron curtain or hardcore security personnel. What about you ordinary men who somebody get using? And you think in our society, if you continue to do the things you do, nobody can get to you? As long as the state cannot stand up, as long as the government will keep aiding them and using them as some kind of killing squad, people can react. I always said this, and I will not stop saying that. Someone called me after the last show and was telling me, look, everything that happened in that country during the war, Costa, I'm 55. I was around. I saw everything. It was because of this very same thing. If people are doing this thing today, there is no guarantee that we'll not return to war in our country if they don't stop the nonsense they are doing. There's no guarantee.
We will remove everything before it gets to that level.
Nobody likes war, Costa. I would say I don't even like war either. But like I always say, nobody's stupid yet. You cannot be treating people anyhow. You think they will just accept it and move on. No way. It has been proven over and over. Every time you push the people back against the wall, they come back to hit at you. Whether it was Dole doing it, whether it was Taylor coming to power doing it, whether we are trying to do it now, the people's action will bounce back on you if you don't stop it. You don't have monopoly over anything. Nobody got monopoly over anything.
We will consult over the weekend. If the government has not taken any practical steps between now and Monday, we announce to the public our next course of action.
Let's hear from Costa on this.
And I'm encouraging my soon militant to arrest those people if the government does not act.
Costa, yes, what's your take on the comment from the senator?
Gentlemen, I agree with the senator, and I want to be part of that consultation. As the COP chairman, the COP is in solidarity with SUP. We've reached out to them. We've been in touch with them. The young man, Christopher Savidi, I posted a picture of he and myself and other young comrades. He's one of he's one of those young people that I took under my wings.
Yes, I saw that picture.
Yes, he's a very good young man, very ideologically grounded from an early age, you know.
Yeah,
yeah, from an early age. That begin bang. He banging this. You see a name, Christopher Water
Susulu.
You know, he reads. He's very, very patriotic, and to have suffered, my heart broke when I heard that a SUP person was attacked at a protest, and then I saw that it was my own Peking. It broke my heart even further. So yes, so Poka Robert, a cataclysmic disappointment of mine, somebody that I'm responsible for in some way, shape, or form, a misguided buffoon to have engaged in such an act. Poka and the rest should not feel safe. They should not walk around feeling safe with their chest up.
That's my
they
point.
should look their shoulders.
That's my point, Pedro. That's
they
my
should
point.
look over their shoulders, because to give them reason to feel that they are untouchable because the state can protect who? The state. The
state can protect itself.
The state can protect itself. The state sat down there will call protest. The whole state was scared. You know, the state walking on one foot. Then the state won't make people. We are the people. We are the downtrodden masses, not the CDC kind of downtrodden masses. We are the real masses who are suffering at the hands of the people who once were the oppressed, who are now the oppressors. So these people must not walk around free thinking that they are free. We must ensure that they can be. We will contain them somewhere, physically contain them without meeting any bodily harm, and the state will have to come for them, and we'll make sure we'll carry them to the police station, or they can't carry them to the police station. We have to do that.
Exactly.
Citizen arrest. The evidence is that the whole world saw the evidence. These people brutalize somebody and they're walking around.
And maybe the COP can issue a bounty. You know, we can put a price out there. Anybody who will arrest.
We will mobilize, send the state looking for them, or the state can find them. We will work with our partners, with our people. We know the boys, we know all the houses because they were COP people. We know where they eat, what they like to eat. We know everything about them. But this cannot go on without any kind of punishment. It cannot. It must not. Because to do so, it would be setting a very bad precedent.
True.
And we gotta make sure that Mr. Weah is delisted from that U.S. Africa Summit. We gotta make sure we do that.
We're already working on that. As a matter of fact, I've sent all the pictures, the video footage, everything. I sent it to DC.
Very good. Very good.
He
deserve to go nowhere.
Alan White has them. He's turned them over to Congressman Chris Smith, who has shared them with other members of the Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission. The same commission that worked with the COP to bring Justina Taylor to America.
Exactly.
Yes. They have received everything from us.
Very impressive.
They are going to be writing President Biden to ask him to uninvite George Weah from the Democracy Summit on account of this particular issue. We've already initiated that.
You cannot You cannot have a guy with bloody hands coming to sit down in America to discuss human rights, democracy, rule of law, and anti-corruption. Absolutely.
Does he have the credentials? Why should they invite in the first place?
Delisted. You should be delisted.
Why you know about democracy?
So let them be waiting. In fact, when the letter is written, we'll try to get a congressman to issue a statement.
Good. That's good.
Senator Dillon, are you still trying to get
I was trying to get, I didn't get him. Sometimes it's good to talk to the person in the back before you put them directly on air. So you'll be communicating, carry on the show. Let me get Amin in the back and see whether we can get him on the radio.
What about Mo Ali?
They both of them, either of them.
Okay.
So you'll carry on the conversation. Let me do it in the back.
Yeah, so personally, it's a good effort that has been my thought. Mr. Weah does not deserve to be anywhere here in a U.S. Africa Summit. I mean, he has a bloody hand, contrary to what he bragged about in the past, that he's a clean man, he's a peaceful man, he's this, that, to the extent that he misled my former boss to even make him peace ambassador when nothing about him resembles peace. It's sad that he now has power. He's becoming a killer indirectly because he's deploying thugs to be attempting to kill people. He doesn't even know the history of the country. He doesn't even know the student community that he, particularly from the university that he's dealing with. That place that guy is tampering with fasting his detrument. I can say that fearlessly. He's looking for trouble. And he's looking for trouble that he cannot bear. He's looking for trouble that he cannot handle. I am telling you, he's looking for trouble. No, Stephen, I gave you one example. Let me just give the example before you come in, Daniel. When we left Liberia in 2001, after the March 21st situation, and we were somewhere around the West African basin, just about that time, the guys who chased Taylor up, their revolutionary effort was far advanced. To tell you how to take the student community serious, do you know that they sent emissary to see us while we were in exile? And they wanted us to be a part of the issue? But the problem with the university student, we always operated on strong principles. So it was not because we have problem with Mr. Taylor. So anybody will come to us, we don't understand your agenda, we don't know, what your own operations are, and because we want Mr. Taylor, we just open our hands and we work to you. So we told them that for a man of Taylor, whatever they were doing was something that was good in our opinion, but to become a part of it, we didn't want to be caught up in anything that whose foundation we didn't know. That's how people think the student community. All right. So when you see them the way you see them and you're running after them, you think it's just them. As you see them, you're digging your own grave. What happened in the end? When Taylor was being flown as a prisoner, we were gloriously flying back to Monrovia as student leaders. And people came back with huge awards because when we came back, you remember, media, we came back, Alfonso Nimle was made a part of the transitional government. He was at the governance commission.
Yeah.
Mario Yakbazo, who is here in Delaware, was placed at the Ministry of Planning. Other student leaders were deployed in other places because their services were recognized. In fact, in Ghana, during the peace talk, they were invited formally. This is the constituents that Mr. Weir does not understand, and Tua and others who are student leaders at the university who are supposed to know exactly the strength of these constituents, they're sitting down there and misleading him because of their own selfishness. So selfish. Even among themselves, the guys don't care. Why is people at Adla Katama up to now, as strong as Katama is, better than some of them who only got a government job? Why do you think they can't give you anything to do? Because Tua doesn't want to see. He doesn't want to see smart people. When you're smart, he's afraid of you. He want to keep you fired. So you got the like Katama, they're moving in and out, but their own friends dislike them. And they are the guys who influence we are. So when they dislike you, you just been thrown in the dustbin. Yeah. Who are these guys?
Thank you, Pierre. Let's hear from Daniel. Thank you, Pierre.
Come on, man.
Daniel.
But the point I wanted to make is that I'm very reliably informed that the government of Liberia.
They're always struggling with internet.
Yes. I was reliably informed yesterday evening that the government of Liberia was pressured by the U.S. embassy because the embassy.
Tanya, we're not getting you. Tanya?
Tanya, we're not getting you.
Tanya, your internet.
Yes. You get. It's very bad and I don't know why.
Yeah. You want to log off and log back in and see?
Let Costa chime in.
Hey, go ahead. Daniel, we hear you.
We're not hearing Daniel, and we are the end. We are
So
the point of winding down now.
Daniel,
Try again, Daniel. Try.
Come back in.
Okay, let me log on.
Yeah, log on and log back in quickly because we'll soon be wrapping up. We're over 2 hours. Pedro, let's hear from you.
Well, gentlemen, as I said, and Mr. Weir sits there, he sees all these things, he hears them, and thanks to us, all of us, we have refused to let this thing die. Soup may have led the protest, peaceful gathering, but we are the ones ensuring that it is elevated to the word. And that is how it should be. And we stand with them and we will continue. We will not let it be a footnote. Though. We will keep talking about this and making moves behind the scenes. Those footage, those gruesome photos were seen by congressional leaders. I am told when they were presented, some of the congressmen were banging the table that they would not let we come to America. They were banging the table. And you know, back then when we used to say we have access to Congress people, they used to say we lie.
Yeah.
Nowadays, they can't say we lie again.
No, they saw Justina here. Oh.
How could we have brought Justina to America? Were we able to bring somebody to America?
No way.
Justina, exactly. Pia, they can't say we lie. COP made a connection. Justina Taylor is in America as a guest of the United States Congress. The Tom Lantos Human Rights Commission is a bipartisan commission headed by two people. Congressman James P. McGovern from Massachusetts. He's the chair of one of the most powerful committees in Congress, the commission, the Committee on Rules, and Congressman Chris Smith, a 42-year veteran.
Yeah,
he is there, and the co-author of the Global Magnitsky Act.
Yeah,
don't play with these guys. These are the people, and the Tom Lantos Commission is a commission that recommends people's names for sanctions.
For sanctions, yeah.
Don't play with them. They're the one got the pen and paper in their hand. They look at Eva Long and say, they made a bad man. They read near Senator Body.
Yeah.
So these people, we are working with them. Justina Taylor will testify. As a matter of fact, let me break it to y'all. She has begun to receive medical treatment here in the U.S. All the medical results from the Ivory Coast and from Liberia, they have done a complete brand new medical re-examination of her, and everything checks out.
Wow.
It has been validated. The U.S. Congress is paying for Justina's medical treatment. They got her one of the best medical insurance plans. She's on it. Her cell phone bill, they pay it. The food she eat, they're doing it. She didn't come here on asylum. She came here to testify before Congress so that by December the 9th, they will send Christmas to plenty of people in Liberia, the Christmas gift. the Christmas gift. Go Google. December 9th was the day they brought the Prince Johnson sanction. There's something about that date. It is the World Anti-Corruption Day. Anti-Corruption Day, December 9th. International Anti-Corruption Day. The Americans did not make a mistake to release Prince Johnson on. I think they're waiting. You see, the same December, they've been waiting. Ooh, that package coming. It will land on December 9th, 2 weeks before Christmas. They will celebrate. The national celebration will be on the sycamore tree. So we are working. We are working very, very hard to ensure that these people don't get away with the things that they are doing to our people. They will not get away with it.
Thank you.
You know the good part? It's a bipartisan effort.
Yeah.
The good people, people say that bipartisan effort. You know somebody like me, you know what they say? They say, since you are so politically exposed and you're a partisan, you're not coming testify again. Justina Taylor, stay away from partisan politics. That you will testify. Me, Joseph Waka medicine, I will not testify because I will. No problem. Yeah, no problem. I will not testify again. But Justina will testify. And we're not joking. And thanks to the COP for all the work that the COP people did to get that.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. So guys, we are we're 13 minutes past the hour. We'll go around the table and get our final words so that we can close. But Pedro, you have to be here sometime next week, so we'll work that up so you can come here as regular as you can. It's important for you to be as regular as you can so that we all can do this together. Yeah. So let's start with Pia. Pia, your closing statement.
Well, I think we said everything that we all needed to say, and the only thing I can add is we got to keep doing what we're doing, because a group of people with no direction cannot hijack our country and treat it any way they want to, and now resulting to instilling fear in people as a way of trying to scare them away from the process that is supposed to kick them out of office next year. We got to stand up to them, and we got to organize ourselves in ways that will not even give them a chance to dream about or think about raking next year's election. The right things got to be so clear on the wall that they should know that an attempt to try that nonsense, there will be grave consequences, and that's the way to go. This is not a kind of regime that you want to afford for 12 years. Absolutely not, because what you will see is the total destruction of the country. If such group of disorganized, wicked, and evil people who transform the country into an evil forest can be given 12 years, it's going to be catastrophic. We must keep them out democratically.
Thank you.
We must keep them out.
Thank you. Yeah. Pedro, Costa.
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. And as you said, Stephen, I will try my best going forward to be as frequent as I can. And I just want to thank you guys for the great work that you're doing here. Our people appreciate it. You're doing tremendous. And look at the views. And when you want to look at views after the show, not
after. Correct. Right.
I know you've been doing it for long. When you see the views, tens of thousands, 30,000, 35,000, that's just online, not even radio.
Yeah.
So it shows you that people are anxious to hear so that, they can hear the unvanished truth about what's happening. And so we appreciate that, the work that you guys are doing. So I'm glad that I made my debut here today, and I will come on as often as possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Pedro, before you go, we got a deal. When are you announcing that exploratory committee? This country needs your service.
August, before August ends.
I can't wait to lead it.
Senator, before August ends.
You know we need to have Senator Henry Costa and Senator Darrell Dillon.
I'll be on fire.
Yeah, but you see, Senator, if I go to the Senate, my own way, when I be hollering, you know why?
Why?
By that time, the president in the mansion will be Joseph Boakai.
Right.
So, and when the president in the mansion, my group president, your way will not be that hard. We will still be working for the people. But the way you suffering now, you and Youngly and few other people, the way you're suffering, that's not how I was suffering. So,
but Henry, let's do this thing. This country, look, when Bago Mafia started this thing, they were 27 years old, they were in it.
That's true.
Prime young age. And we can, you guys, I'm way younger older, me and Pierre way younger older than most of you guys. But we can't keep saying that you're too young. Pierre, you're above 35. That means even constitutionally you qualify to run for president. But listen, we need a robust legislature. Even if we have a president in the mansion, the Democrats held Joe Biden build better bill because they wanted to negotiate for their respective districts and states.
True.
Yeah, you can, so I mean, but if you have one president in the mansion that is opposition to you, and you get the legislature in majority thinking that they're serving at the pleasure of the president, that's a problem.
They finally gave something after they watered it down completely.
So I mean, it was good. It was good then, yeah. And Henry, your presence here tonight elevated the.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Very, very good. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So thank you. So on that note, Stephen, thank you for hosting. You've been a good host since we started the show. We'll be back here on Monday with the class reloaded. Watch out for From the Capitol with me, Senator Dillon, on every Sunday evening.
So question, what happened to Ente Miata?
She's will be on Monday.
And then that will be on Monday.
She usually runs Monday because she that's
But
when
the
she's
last,
free.
the last Monday she wasn't here. That's what I asked.
Yeah, she'll be
Yeah.
here this Monday.
You'll
And
be
then
on Monday.
Patrick's supposed to take Friday, and today's Friday. He's not home.
Patrick
You are
on the
traveling
way
from
from Banga.
Oh, you went to
For the
Banga.
convention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
That's why
maybe
he's
you will
not
do Monday.
Yeah. So Sunday we come on to our people and from the capital with me, Senator Dillon. That one is strictly my senatorial activities from the capital. And I will keep hammering for a good while now. The people thought we were not talking because for some
Exactly.
reason,
Because the media, there was a
for some
media
reason
blackout.
the media, and unknown to me, the media, most of the media chose not to carry our activity. Maybe for all the political reasons to make it appear like we have gone silent on the people. So now that God has given us the idea, we take it to the people. Every Sunday, God willing, we have from the capital with me, Senator Darius Dillon. So we'll talk about the activities from the Capitol building, from our office, and we'll bring you our voices and our video clips of our activities in session along with some of our other colleagues. We want to say thank you to Bourgeois Radio 98.1. I think Stephen will list the radio stations to acknowledge them and say thank you for airing our show. And as more stations come on, we want to give God the glory. Stephen, it's up to you to close.
So yeah, in closing, we'd like to thank everybody for joining us and on this weekend. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. We'd like to say special thanks to Bourgeois Radio FM 98.1, Shatta FM 102.5, Radio Tupa all the way there in Grand Bassa County, 89.1, Voice of Vonjima FM 99.3 in Vonjima, Radio Joy Africa 97.5 there in Magibi County, Voice of Compa all the way there in Ganta City, Nima County, and Butor Radio all the way there in Silo. On that note, we come to an end, but as we close, we like to, our quotation for today is by Thomas Paine, and it says, to argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. And let me repeat. To argue with a person who has renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. Thomas Paine, unquote. On that note, we'd like to say goodbye. Thanks to all of our listeners, viewers in the comment section, all across the world, those who call in, those who wanted to call in, and including, we'd like to say thank you all. We appreciate you for joining us today. Thanks to Costa for joining us. Thanks to Daniel Sano, who was here earlier, Pia, and Senator Dillon. Have a good day. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So, yeah, this is how we go tonight with our regular reminder to, I need to find it. This is a regular reminder that what the management team is putting into place. Yeah. That what the management team is putting into place the plan for maintenance and sustainability. The $3,000 that I take from a salary every month to give to the county council that I set up to do small intervention in the county, that $3,000 will be utilized year from today. That $3,000 are deducted voluntarily from a salary for Maserado will be utilized here. The rehabilitation of one Liberian citizen, in my view, is more important than the building of 10 skyscrapers that if we have more Zogos, they can break them down anytime. I want to thank you and God bless you. That what the management team is putting into place the plan for maintenance and sustainability. The $3,000 that I take from a salary every month to give to the county council that I set up to do small intervention in the county, that $3,000 will be utilized year from today. $3,000 US are deducted voluntarily from my salary for Maserado will be utilized last year. The rehabilitation of one Liberian citizen, in my view, is more important than the building of 10 skyscrapers that if we have more Zogos, they can bring them down anytime. I want to thank you and God bless you. Okay, so that's how we go home. Good night. God bless you. Bye-bye.